Hello, my friend. Amner Hunter here from amnerhunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. This time around, we are going to check out the brand new release by Kiive Audio. This is the cool compressor called Complexx 760 compressor limiter, right? This is a FET compressor, and it is actually an emulation of the legendary Complexx 760 from the 60s, alright? A legendary compressor used in many records and albums of many of your favorite bands. So in this video, I want to walk you through the features and controls that actually involves some modern takeaways and features that maybe are not possible in the analog domain. And also I want to test this compressor limiter in different elements in a mix. And of course, I'm gonna leave you the link in the video description and first comment for the free trial. Go ahead and try it. I'm sure that you will love it. And of course, I'm gonna leave you timestamps in case that you want to move around between the mini segments of the video. Full disclosure, Kiive Audio approached me and contacted me to create this video for you guys. Consider this as a sponsor video from Kiive Audio, but all of the thoughts and opinions remain objectively and 100% mine. All of the judgment of this plugin is completely mine. Also, the members of Kiive Audio are watching the video at the same time as you do. So before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website, amnerhunter.com, where you can grab some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to be checking out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with content like this for home music producers out there. So let's switch to my DAW. Let's first dissect and go through some of the features and controls of this plugin. All right, so this is basically a compressor limiter FET, so it reacts quickly to the audio, especially to percussive elements. So it's great on drums, on drum bosses, individual elements on drums, also overheads, room microphones, stuff like that. But it's also very cool to use it on acoustic guitars, bass, vocals, of course, and in the mix bus also. First of all, this compressor has the option of mid-side, right? That's why you see the same knobs here at the right than on the left. These are like mirrored images. For instance, if we move one knob, right, you are gonna see the movement also on the right side of the compressor. And with a switch that it's here in the center, we can set this compressor to mid-side. So for instance, if I put this to the right, the switch in the center, this part will affect the side image of your stereo, and this part the center or mid image of your stereo, right? If we set it here to let's say stereo, you're gonna affect the whole stereo spectrum, and that's why the channels are gonna be linked. All right, it's pretty cool because the more you drive the input, it has an automatic output compensation. So that's awesome because we are gonna hear the effect of the compression itself the more we increase this input, and the plugin will automatically adjust the output for us. So that's very useful to not let ourselves be fooled by loudness. Okay, in the upper part here you have the expander. Expander means that you are gonna increase the dynamic range. As compressor is reduce the dynamic range, we can do that with this expander. You have release, you have threshold, you have range here. And also pretty cool thing that we have a gate. At the left you of course use the expander, and at the right you use the gate. It's pretty cool because if we have some other parts of the drum kit bleeding into the snare microphone or something, we can get rid of those bleeds very easily with the threshold that we have here from low to high. Okay, release and range. We have here the expander attack, 2 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds, and 0.02 milliseconds. And we have here the attack for the compressor, right? 3 values, 2.5, 25 milliseconds, and 0.25 milliseconds. Down here we have the section of the compressor, right? We have 3 knobs. We have release, we have threshold, and we have ratio. And of course, if we want more compression, we are going to increase the input and we're going to get more compressor here. We're going to see the gain reduction in the meters at the center of the plugin. Also, we have a very cool two-way EQ section here. It's a high frequency, which is around 10 kilohertz. You're going to have a boost. And if you switch here, you're going to have a boost in the lower frequencies around 30, 40, 50 hertz, around that area. So it's going to add some weight. It's a very simple knob that can give you some highs or some lows depending on what you need. So pretty cool. We have the same here at the right. Also, we have internal sidechain here, where if you want to leave out some frequencies in the low end out of the compressor, right? So for instance, if we want maybe from 200 hertz and below to not be compressed, we can set it here. All right, so whatever value you put here from that point and below, it's gonna be ignored by the compressor. Also, we have some more features here at the top. For instance, we can link the gain with this. We can also link the left and right channel, which by default it's on. Also, we have oversampling up to 16x to avoid digital distortion, especially when saturating higher frequencies, because since this compressor is based on an analog piece of gear, it also introduces harmonic distortion, and we can add more of that with this THD, which is total harmonic distortion. The more we increase this, the more harmonic distortion and saturation we add. All right, we have also a blend or mix knob here at the top from 0 to 100%. Undo and redo options, and you have many different presets here to choose from. So let's check it out. Let's start to compress these drums. Okay, we're compressing around 3 to 3 decibels. So let's start to increase the threshold. Okay. You start to notice the punch before. And also a bit of saturation, right? More saturation and cleaner. Let's put a higher ratio. Fast release time, it's already there. Let's change the attack time. Super fast attack time. Yeah, 25 milliseconds, it's a good attack time for the drum bus. So if we want more compression, we can either increase the threshold, or we can also add input, and we can increase the output if we need a bit more. Before, after. Let's use the sidechain. Listen to how the compressor ignores. It's compressing the whole frequency spectrum, and it's leaving the low end untouched. Let's use the tone knob. Let's add some highs to the left. Right? More brightness in the cymbals. Some lows. Awesome. More weight. So now let's use the gate of this plugin, which is pretty cool. So for instance, in this kick drum, we have some snare track. Okay, so we set here gate, and let's turn it on. Okay. Wow, pretty cool. We don't have a lot of that snare anymore, right? Before. And we have the range here. Very, very isolated, the kick drum, right? Sometimes we might need it. Also, let's test it on snare. We have also quite a lot of stuff here. Kick drum, cymbals. So let's set it here to gate. Okay. Before. Very, very isolated, right? And we can go further and compress this snare. Okay. Awesome. Let's also compress the overheads and room microphones. I like to really crush with a lot of compression with a faster attack time. So let's choose, for instance, 2.5 milliseconds. Let's start to compress heavily. Right. We are distorting also. Before, after. Let's go here with the bass guitar. Also, it's pretty cool to control and to tame all of the dynamics in the bass guitar to have it very, very consistent in the mix. So for instance, in this part of the song here, I have a very, very dynamic bass guitar that can cause a bit of problems here in this area of the song. As you see here, this in gray is a bass track, and it has some jumps here in dynamics. So let's control that here with a fast attack time, or the fastest. Let's check it out here. Okay, I'm compressing 4. I need more probably, so let's increase the ratio. Yeah, fast attack time. We can, of course, use the sidechain, like to leave. Let's go again here. Right, there's no like a lot of change in volume with the plugin engaged. These peaks are more controlled and the bass overall is more consistent. Let's add some distortion as well. Let's also use it on this vocal track. It feels so good. Needs more punch, needs more consistency as well. So right. Okay. When you see me lost in a night,
It feels so good. It feels so right when you see
use
me
2.5
lost in the
milliseconds.
night. It feels so good. It feels
Some
so
grit.
right. It feels so. It feels.
Let's suppose that we need a bit of top end.
It feels so good. It feels so right when you see me lost in a night.
That last part of that phrase, without the compression, it gets lost a bit, like it lowers a lot the dynamics in that part.
It feels so good.
That last tail, without and with compression, it stays like with a lot of strength, right? That part.
It feels so good.
You hear everything more, and in the context of the mix, that it's better. Let's also test this compressor here on acoustic guitars. Okay, let's lower the threshold. We can increase a bit of highs. Super cool, this tone knob, really. Let's for instance use the mid-side processing. So if we put this mid-side here, we are gonna affect the mid of the image where the kick drum, the snare, the bass guitar is in, and here in the side image at the right of the plugin, we are gonna affect the guitars, the cymbals, for instance, that are towards the side image of the mix. So let's start here. Okay. Here we are affecting the center. And let's compress here the side image. Right, guitar, cymbals. A bit of lows, a bit of highs. So let me know what you think of this plugin by Kiive Audio Complexx. I think it's a great tool for different reasons. The compression, the expander, the tone or EQ section makes this plugin, I think, very cool. And also the character of the harmonic distortion and of course the vintage sound that we can add to our recordings with this tool. I think it's a pretty cool addition to your arsenal. Go ahead and try it. There is a free trial available on the website, and let me know what you think of this. Before we leave, let me invite you one last time to my website, amnorhunted.com, where you can grab some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players, also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities, and finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I'm updating almost every day with content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye bye.